Morning. It is Wednesday, I think. It's a weird one because we had a bank holiday. Not that it matters for me, but it's weird when Selena's not working, so it feels like a Tuesday to me. So I thought I'd do a vlog style update again. Today I'm going to go get the car washed. I attempted to do it yesterday, but there were about 15 people in front of me. Vegas is never busy, but it seems people like to wash their cars. So I'm going to go a lot earlier today. I'm going to go around 9, half 9 rather than half 10, 11 o'clock. And I thought I'd take you along for the ride. In terms of videos that are going to come up, I'm definitely going to continue with some of the finance stuff. I've just got to work out how to structure it. I'm also going to put out some 5 or 10 top things, like 5 things to do if you're going to come to Las Vegas, and get those up so they're a little bit easier to digest. And I'm sure there's people that are watching that might not be considering living here but might want to come out and they want to know some things to do. In terms of an update, because I don't think we have one this week, I finally managed to get accepted for a credit card. So I think I had 8 rejections, and I think it was going into the 12th week that finally Amex, and I know there's a subscriber that works for Amex, finally accepted it. It was a little bit of hassle still, so I did the online application, and I think this was my 3rd attempt, and then it said I needed to call them, and they said, oh, we can't verify that you live there. And it's like, look, there's bills that have been coming out for the last 2 months, so they did a public record search or something, and they were able to track me down and then offer me a credit card. And for the people that haven't watched our previous ones, it's not a credit card to run up money. Here you need to have credit lines, so whether it's credit or loans or bank accounts or utility bills, in order for your credit to grow. And because we're planning on buying a house, we do actually have free mortgage, what is it, not acceptance? We call them decisions in principle, so where you apply for the mortgage and they accept it. So we actually have 3 of those offering us mortgages, but at quite high rates. So I think they were between 4.5% and 5.5%, which at the moment here is crazy high. You can get stuff at about 2.7%. And the reason for that is because we don't currently have US credit, so they're doing it based on our UK credit. So I'm trying to build that up over the next 12 months, and then hopefully that will bring down the interest rate to something that's sensible. One of the things I did last week, we went to the dentist. So I've got 2 fillings or crowns that have cracked. They've been on for about 8 to 10 years. So I went to the dentist. I just wanted that looked at. However, they offered me a full checkup. And to be fair to them, they use, can't even explain it, it's like a full head scanner plus about 10 different x-rays. And it took about half an hour to 40 minutes to do all of that. And then they called a dentist in, and the dentist came and did about 3 minutes worth of work, and they gave me a bill. This whole process took about an hour and a half. It was very long and unnecessarily long because the dentist runs between different rooms rather than assigning a certain amount of time, which I found a little bit frustrating. But they gave me a bill for $8,000, of which only $4,000 would be covered by our dental plan. So on the basis of that, and the fact that I only needed 2 bits of work done, and the fact I was there for an hour and a half and not just half an hour, I'm going to try another dentist. Now, I'm more than willing to pay out if that's what it costs, but I'm going to get that checked. There are a few reviews where people have said they've had very similar bills, and I don't think they're falsifying the work. I think they're offering the maximum amount of work that they can get away with. They can offer you and it still be legitimate. Not going to get into the details here, but you, on your dental plan, there's stuff that is always covered. So they'll pay between 30 and 70% roughly. And there are things that are not covered. So specialist things that surgery can offer you, and there was quite a lot of that on there, so stuff that I would have to pay out of pocket 100% for. So I'm going to go to another dentist, get that checked by them. If they come back with the same thing, then I can pick and choose which one. If they're quicker, I'm going to pick the other dentist, because an hour and a half to do a checkup is far too long, in my opinion. Finally, our shipment has arrived at LA, I think 3 days or 4 days ago. So I think it arrived in LA on Saturday. So they submitted our landing documents. Hopefully that gets cleared this week, and then it's probably going to be another week to get here. And I can't wait. I'm missing so much stuff. So from things like cups and saucers and plates, cutlery, to my bike is the thing that I'm missing the most. I was riding really regularly, and I'm missing my brother, because we would go out and ride all the time. But at least if I've got a bike there, it kind of satisfies a part of that. Bit lonely compared to what I'd normally do, but at least I'd have my bike. I've got an electric scooter, and I've seen people out all the time on those, so I'm missing that. I'm missing the comfort of my bed, I'm missing my sofa, I'm missing so much stuff, so I'm quite excited for that to arrive, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. And I've just discovered Amazon Fresh. Unlike the UK, so the UK Amazon uses Morrison's or something, and it's kind of just like a normal delivery service, but more expensive. Here they use their own service. I'm guessing they bought out Whole Foods, but 10 p.m. last night I made an order and it arrived here at 6:22 in the morning, so it's now 8:07, and you can tell them to just leave it outside. They text you, they send you a picture. Went out, grabbed my stuff, and what that means is you never have to miss breakfast. So those mornings where you're like, I forgot to go and buy, not that I like eggs, but I forgot to go buy eggs and milk, you just order it at 10 o'clock. It's there in the morning. You don't have to get up, go out. Super lazy, but super convenient. And if you've watched any of our videos, we are people of convenience. I love the convenience of that. Doesn't mean to say I won't go out, but when you've forgotten and you know you can't be bothered to get up at 6 and go to the shops, get dressed, super convenient. So I'm liking Amazon Fresh. And to be honest, it's not much more than our local Albertsons or Trader Joe's. Might be an extra 10 to 20 cents per item, but I think it's worth it for that delivery service. And the final thing for this morning, the temperatures are now between 35 and 38 consistently, which I'm absolutely loving. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and what's the temperature at the moment? And the temperature is 30, so hopefully you can see that. So 8:08, it's 30 degrees, and it'll be going up to about 38. Now, it is very, very hot, but I prefer this, and today it's very sunny. I much prefer it over the cold. I can deal with this. A lot of the time you're in a shaded area, so it's not that bad, or you're indoors, but you get up, it's sunny, you can wear whatever you like, as long as it's not a tracksuit. Selena had her hair done yesterday, and it was the first person that had actually said, I don't know what people are complaining about with the heat and the sun. You'd much rather that over the greyness and the wet. And a few days ago, you'll see our video, we went to Adidas at the mall, the outdoor mall. And the kid said, I've had enough of this heat. He's like, do you like it? I said, I love it. He said, I'd prefer for it not to be this hot. I said, the problem is, the part that you don't understand is, in the UK, you don't get that you can make plans and the UK will decide to rain those off for the next 3 weeks, or it'll be grey and cold and you won't want to go outside. So where it might be too hot for you here, at least for 9 months of the year, when you decide to go outside and do something, you're able to get that done. In the UK, you have no idea. You might have worked all week, planned a barbecue on the weekend, and it'll just go, rain time now, and it'll rain for 3 weeks solid. And he's like, oh yeah, didn't really think about that. And then the hairdresser for Selena actually said exactly that. She's from Reno, I think, California. And she just said she absolutely loves it, will never complain about the heat or the sun. It's 9:01, I'm gonna head over, get the car washed. Hopefully it's not super busy. And I'm gonna get some fuel as well, and I'll show you some of the prices. What's interesting about the US is, some things are considerably cheaper, some things are about the same, and some things are considerably more expensive. Seems random, but you can buy just a normal can of deodorant for $7. I mean, you can get some for like $5 or $6, but in the UK it's about £1, and some of the really nice ones are £2. So it's so far out. Yet housing costs are quite low, fuel costs are quite low. Car washes are around the same. It starts at anywhere from $5 to $50 depending on what you're getting. I tend to get a wash, I think it's around 16, but I'll show you that. And fuel prices here have been going up a lot, and it's funny because I catch myself like, this is too expensive. We're paying $3.70 a gallon, and at home I was paying £1.35.40, so it's still half the cost, but you get used to things really quickly. But anyway, I'm gonna head over there now. Some of the things that haven't been so great, and really it's based around two things. The finance stuff, which we go on about a lot, it's getting slightly better, but I would say even 3 months in, the way the US deals with their finances, checks, phone calls, actually going into the bank is terrible, but it's livable. And the main thing is family and friends. It's very difficult. So simple things like, you might get out one morning, you can't really bother to work out, you can't do anything. Normally, that was the new dentist calling through. As I mentioned earlier, I'm trying a different dentist because of the cost and charges for stuff we're not sure about. One of the things is, it isn't just financial. Anything that requires any form of registration is a laborious process. So it took about 10 minutes to go through what we need to go through on the phone, and then what will happen is you have to fill in a new patient thing anyway when you get to the surgery, which is about another 5 to 10 minutes. They seem to double up on a lot of stuff. It seems so very unnecessary. However, it does present an opportunity, so there's so much streamlining that can be done here. And if I decide to work again, I could easily just be a consultant on, look, you don't have to key this in twice, maybe just do it once. Oh, you've saved loads of money and time. Amazing. You can pass that on to your customers. It seems like they'll be blown away by not double keying stuff. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so one of the downsides is you miss people. So I could easily now just call my brother up, because he works nights in the middle of the day, and I would say, let's go for a ride, and we go for a ride. And my dad works nights as well, so we would jump on a bike and go for a ride. Now, firstly, I don't have my bike, but even if I did, I have nobody to go with. So that's the toughest part. However, all change hurts. There's a cost to change, and you just have to get through those moments. And this isn't just life at work. Anytime you do a change program, people resist it, people don't like it. It's different to what they know. They're comfortable in those things, but if we stayed in that, nothing would ever progress. The reason we're in a car, driving a car, is because there was change. It was painful from the horse and cart. Everybody resist, or a lot of people resist it, but out of that then hopefully should come better, or at least slightly improved things. So it is painful having that, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. Already busy. Look at this. Secure. Last time I was here, I went for the premiere or the spotlight, so I spent about $30, and they reckon that the wax they put on lasts a few months, so I shouldn't need to get that again. So I'm going to go for something like the blue chip, which is $17, or potentially the executive, which is $23. So in some ways similar to the UK, we have something called ARC or IMO. So you pull up, you select your package, somebody does a pre-wash, they send you through a automated wash, and then you drive around the block and you go to, it's like an area where they finish the car off manually and they hoover the car out and wipe it down. It's just, as expected, a lot bigger. And this place has a shop and a coffee shop. It's just a car wash as part of the building. Made it into the car wash. The guy that's doing the pre-wash taps on the window. He's like, "Amigo, how many hours do you work out a day?" I was like, "I don't think it's the amount of time per day. I think it's the 20 years that I've been working out." He's like, "No, but how many hours? 2, 3, 4? Okay, about an hour and 15. He's like, "But I've been working out for so long." Clearly he's doing it wrong, but I thought it was funny. So the way this car wash works is you pull up here, you go through the automated part, and then you drive around to there, which is the manual part. You then have to go in with the ticket into the shop, which is behind me, and then you pay, and they sign the ticket off for you so that you can actually take the car once it's finished. This whole process here, they do quite a good job. It takes about half an hour in total. So if you're in a rush, it's definitely not the place to be. In the UK, the similar washes take about 10-12 minutes maybe. I've been here 4 times now, and it's the first time somebody's mentioned that there's a reward program. So if you give them your phone number, which is the way they do a lot of rewards out here, and I'll get into that in another video, it's actually really good. After your 10th wash, you get a free wash, one of the higher end washes, and they'll also discount, if you want one of their top, they'll discount it by the same amount. So it's a shame they didn't tell me that before, but I've signed up to it now. inside of the car wash. It's got a coffee shop. Right, so after spending 10 minutes plus on the phone to the dentist, they actually said that I can fill in the online form. It's a little bit strange because when they call, you have to give your name, your address, your date of birth, your social security number, my wife's name, where she works, what else? Loads of information that they have to take down. And then when you sign up using their form, at least the two places I've gone so far, so the Vision and the previous dentist, you do the same thing again, which I was going to say there must be a reason, but learning what I've learned over the past few months, there probably isn't. They probably just used to have it purely paper based. They've brought in some form of digital way of doing it, and they've just kept both rather than phasing one out, which is a little bit annoying for people like me because you end up spending 20 minutes to do a 10-minute job. Alright, that is the car wash done. Quickly flip it around so you can see what it looks like. Gonna head and go and get some petrol, fuel, gas, whatever we call it. Hopefully I can find somewhere cheap. Somebody did mention an app which I've used a couple of times to find the best ones locally, so I might do that. I know at the moment anything under about $3.60 is cheap, so as long as I see that, I'm fine grabbing that. It's a shame because it was under $3 when I arrived here, so it's gone up quite a bit. So I managed to get the fuel nice and cheap. Home now, so it's going to be the end of the video. My friend was messaging me talking about Halo. It's a game that I've played since Halo 1, and it's probably one of my favourite games, and he's just got back into it with his girlfriend. So I don't have an Xbox anymore, but I have two PCs. Went to download it, Halo 5, and no Halo 5 on PC. Every other version, including the terrible ODST, no Halo 5, so I can't play unless I buy an Xbox, which I'm not going to do. Anyway, for now I'm going to go work out, do a nice early gym session at 10:45. Then I will probably have lunch and probably use the pool today because it's 38 and very hot. Thanks for watching.